What's going on, everyone? Thanks for checking out this video. Today I want to show you a new bike from Euphree. This one's called the Stellar Falcon, and it's got a lot of awesome features. And if you're doing your research right now, possibly buying an e-bike in the near future, let me show you why the Stellar Falcon might be exactly what you've been looking for. All right, we're checking out the newest bike from Euphree Bikes. This one is called the Stellar Falcon. Current pricing on the Stellar Falcon is $22.99, and you got two different options for your frame style. You can get a mid-step frame like this one here, or it also comes in a step-through version. And these paint jobs are absolutely killer. The step-through is like a really deep, dark blue. It's got some metallic flake in there. It pops really nice in the sunlight. And then this one, they told me it was going to be purple. But when you get in the sunlight, it maybe has a little hint of purple, but if I had to name this color, I might call it like a deep black cherry. But they each have a little bit of metallic in them. The welds are ground smooth. The paint job is high gloss. It's really sharp looking. And in addition to these two colors, they also have a black and a bright red. Now the design of this Stellar Falcon is a little bit more aggressive looking than Eupphree's first bike, which was the City Robin. That bike had skinnier tires and swept back handlebars and a big plush comfy seat. And these ones have definitely much more aggressive looking tires. They're 27.5 by 2.8 with some knobby tread on them. They've got straight handlebars on them. The seat's a little bit more sportier looking, just a little bit more athletic look to the bike, something that you could not only commute on, but you could also take it to the trails on the weekend. And I think that's the spot that the Stellar Falcon is kind of carving out. It's something that you could commute on, you could use around town, but then you could also hit the trails with it on the weekend if you wanted. And I mean, you could also kind of turn it into a cargo bike if you wanted. They sell a front basket for it, a large front basket, and also a rear basket. They've got their own little system that it clicks in there in about 2 seconds. So it's really easy to take it off and on the bike. And you could haul a decent amount of cargo with this if you needed. So I think this bike could handle multiple uses and do them well. And it might even steal the show a little bit from some of the fat tire bikes. Now, someone who rides a lot of fat tire bikes and also interacts with a lot of people online who ride and have purchased fat tire bikes, I think something like this might be a more useful or versatile option for you. The 4-inch wide fat tire bikes are eye-catching, yes, and they've been very popular, but something like this Stellar Falcon solves some of the issues that those larger fat tire bikes have. The first is just being the overall size and manageability of it. You've got the option of the step-through frame, which is of course very easy to get off and on, but also this mid-step, being that that top bar is not flat across, it comes down at an angle. This one's actually not too bad to step over that top bar and mount the bike that way as well. The seat heights are also lower. They each come stock with this Suntour suspension post, and with that post in there, the minimum seat height on this mid-step right here is 33.5 inches. That's shorter than most fat tire bikes. And if you remove that suspension post, the seat height will go all the way down to 31 inches. That is very low. And I did have my wife, who's 5'4", try the bike with the suspension post in, and she could get kind of the balls of her feet or her toes on the ground. And then if you take the post out, she could pretty much flat foot the bike. So very accessible for shorter riders. Plus you have the ability to adjust the handlebar stem and bring it back closer to you. That's one complaint she always has, is that the reach is too far on a lot of the big fat tire bikes. This one, you can stand that straight up in the air and bring the handlebars back to you. Watching her try to ride some of the fat bikes is hilarious. I mean, they're so large for her at 5'4". And some of them she has a really tough time handling. And these are both more manageable, even in terms of weight. Your typical fat tire bike, those usually weigh 85, maybe up to 92, 93 pounds. These weigh 72 and 73 pounds. So they're a good 10 pounds, sometimes 15 to 20 pounds lighter than some of the fat bikes. They've got great power because they each have a 750 watt motor in the back. A lot of commuter bikes will just have 500 watt. These are 750s. And they got that great build quality that I always praise Euphree for. I really like the way they finish off their bikes. I mean, even the front basket mount's got this little cap on it here with their logo. You got hydraulic brakes and nice velo grips and adjustable stem, built-in phone mounts, multiple accessory mounts, suspension posts. It's an air fork. It's got a torque sensor that's highly programmable. The fenders are thicker than normal so they don't get bent up on you, and the paint job is killer. It's just finished off really nicely, as always. But it just seems more manageable and versatile than a fat tire bike. If you're researching right now because you're looking to buy something, do yourself a favor, add this to your list to look at. Or better yet, Euphree has over 100 dealers around the US. Check their website for dealers near you, and you could actually go check one of these out in person. But now that I've teased you with some of the specs and features, let me really quickly walk us through the bike front to back and show you everything up close. First, your tires, 27.5 by 2.8. So kind of that Goldilocks zone, not too fat, not too thin, good tread on them, quiet on the street, but yet still grippy. It is a through axle, not a quick release. And you can see the disc brake over there, 180 millimeter disc. They're Tektro hydraulic brakes. You've got a Suntour air fork, right? So this is your rebound adjustment on the bottom right here. You've got your lockout right here, and on this side is the air inlet. You can adjust the compression of the fork. Very nice fork. No trouble with that at all, worked well. I mentioned the fenders are extra thick. They are metal. Metal fenders, can't bend them in your hand at all. It's just one of those little extra things that Euphree does that makes the bikes nicer. So you're not gonna bend these up real easily. You've got this little badge on the front here covering up your front basket mount. And as always, Euphree does a really, really nice job of wrapping up all these wires neatly and feeding them down through the headset, and then they just disappear. You don't really see wires anywhere else on this bike. It is very sleek looking. This is the only spot they go right down inside there and then vanish. You've got your headlight high up on the handlebars here. You can set it to be strobing or a solid light. And it does have little markers on the side here, so you can see the headlight from the side as well. I'll show you how to program the light when we get into the display settings, but you also have a tail light and brake light, so full lighting package on this one. Battery pack is a 48 volt, 15 amp hour battery pack that is integrated into the frame here. Put the key in on the other side, turn the little lever on the top, and it slides out the front really easily. Beautiful frame on this bike. All the welds are ground smooth. Paint job is awesome, like a high gloss paint job. Great graphics on the bike. You got your little chain slap protector there. Very nice looking frame. Multiple accessory mounts. You got one here, also one up here on the top tube. Comes stock with the suspension seat post, which has a lot of movement in it. Very comfortable, almost like having a rear suspension. The gearing is really nice. It's an 8-speed bike, and you've got a 50-tooth chainring up front, and the back is from 11 to 34. It's a Shimano Altus on the derailleur. You got a derailleur guard here that's actually kind of thicker than normal. Very nice. 750 watt geared hub motor hiding in there. Plenty of power on the Stellar Falcon. You've got a very nice looking rear rack. And the first time I saw this rack, I was like, how does this work? Because you can see you got rack here and then the support piece that comes down. I'm like, what ties it in right here? Like usually there's bars that go from here to the seat post. Well, they're kind of hidden actually. You can see this post that comes down right here, and then underneath the fender, there's a piece of metal and that then attaches right here. So there is a support bar, but it's hiding here under the fender. You don't see it. So it looks kind of like that rack's kind of just floating there. The bike is equipped with a torque sensor for pedal assist, and actually it can be programmed as a cadence sensor if you like that instead. We'll get into that in the programming. On the handlebar controls, well, first off, you got the adjustable handlebar stem, and that's got a lot of movement in it. You can really adjust how far you lean forward on the bike or how tall you want to sit up. So great feature to have there for adjustability. You can adjust the seat post too. There's a little adjustment knob on the bottom of the post you can turn to make that either firmer or softer. We got the nice soft Velo grips, locking grips, feel great. Trigger shifters, again, 8-speed. Even got, look at the bell. It's such a classy bell. Nice tone, I like it. Better than the loud beeping horns. But trigger shifters, your brakes, headlight. We've got our display, a left-hand thumb throttle, and I've got a lot to show you in the display. All right, let's get things powered on here so you can take a good look at what the display looks like. Euphree bikes. All right, so speed, really big. You got your battery indicator on the right side here. You have the battery meter as well as the percentage there. Your odometer and trip meters across the bottom. And then this over here on this side is your pedal assist. And instead of going pedal assist 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it goes eco to tour to sport to turbo, and it's all color coordinated. Now to get into the settings, all you do is hold plus and minus together. Takes you into this screen here. Let's toggle down to information first. So here's where you can change your wheel size or your speed limit. There's no cap on the speed limit. You can set it as high as you want. I've got mine at 37.5 miles an hour. If you go into that setting, you click on it, it's going to ask you for a password. The password's 1801 if you want to go in there and monkey with that. But I'm going to go back. On this main screen, you can change the language you want your display to be in, the color themes. You can set a password for the bike if you want. But there's a lot more stuff to do inside the display setting feature. We go in there. First off, you can change units from imperial to metric, how long you want, the auto off is how long you want the screen to be on before it powers off of inactivity. You can reset your trip meter, screen brightness, and then there's a couple more down here. So drive mode is super interesting. If we go in there, you can set it to cadence sensor or torque sensor. Never seen this before on a bike. You can, no longer do you have to decide which one you want. This bike will do both. I'm gonna leave mine set on torque sensor for now. If I go to light mode, that's what allows you to, change your headlight from strobe to solid. I'm gonna leave mine standard. The throttle, okay, we're going to throttle. You can turn your throttle on or off. So if you're somewhere where class 1 e-bikes are required, you can turn your throttle off and all of a sudden now you're a class 1 e-bike. So that's a cool feature to have. But the most interesting thing in here is the ride style. Let's go into ride style. So here you'll see all your different pedal assist levels, right? They start at Eco, Tour, Sport, Turbo, kind of goes up. You got those 4 modes you can be in. So not only can you adjust between those 4, you can go into each individual one of those and fine tune it. So let's look at Turbo right here. If I go in there, you can adjust the timing and the power assist. So the timing is just how fast it's going to kick in, how quickly the torque sensor will recognize, after you start pushing on the pedal, how quick it's going to engage. So if we go into timing, you can have it set to fast, medium, or slow. The other setting is the power assist. And again, you get the options of high, medium, low, and that's just how much power it's going to deliver to you initially. So if you got the turbo, I'm set on high, because when I'm in turbo, I want all the power. So I've got it set to high. It's giving me a lot of power off the line. And I also have the timing in turbo set to high. So it's just kind of making me go as fast as possible. So you can go and set the timing and the power assist in every single level of pedal assist. This is highly customizable pedal assist. There's very few bikes that give you this much adjustability with pedal assist. Now, to better illustrate the impact that these changes to the timing and the power assist have, I took some clips for you. So I put the bike into turbo mode and I took a clip with low timing, low power assist. And then I left it in turbo mode and I took a clip of high timing, high power assist. And you can see the difference that adjusting those levels makes. It just has a faster takeoff. So a really great feature. I know a lot of people are going to be wishing that their bike had that. So definitely some unique and handy little features on this bike. Now let me show you some clips of me out riding and testing and experiencing the Stellar Falcon. All right, folks, we're out cruising on the Stellar Falcon, the newest bike from Euphree bikes. And I'll do my best here to relay the ride experience to you a little bit. So as far as the ride position and comfort, I'm quite comfortable on this bike. It's got that adjustable handlebar stem, so you can tilt it forward where you're more leaned over, and I've got it almost vertical, so I'm very upright as I ride. The suspension fork, it's a Suntour air fork up front. That's been working well for me. And then for the seat, it feels very comfortable because it's got that Suntour suspension seat post, which soaks up all the bumps. So it's very adjustable for the ride position and for the suspension feel of it. So I'm going to say great for, ride quality and ergonomics of it. Now I tend to ride a lot of fat tire bikes, 4-inch wide fat tire bikes, and compared to those, this one feels like incredibly light and nimble. And that's probably for 2 reasons. First is the tires, right? They're 2.8 inches wide, so they're a little bit more agile. It's more maneuverable. It is a lighter weight bike. It only weighs 73 pounds. So that probably contributes to the light feeling of the steering. And the other thing is the handlebars. They're kind of flat and they're nice and wide. They're 29 inches wide. So it gives you a really good control of the front end. It just feels really lightweight and kind of nimble compared to the big, huge balloon fat tires. The display is pretty readable. The speed is the biggest thing on the display. That's really easy to see. The battery indicator is a little bit small, and so is like the odometer and trip meter and everything. But you do have this battery meter on the side, which is easier to see than the little percentage symbol. And then on this side, the mode that you're in, I'm in Tour right now, and then it's got 4 modes. So you start in Eco, and they're all color coded. So Eco's green, Tour is light blue. You go up to Sport, it's like a yellow, and then Turbo, the highest mode, most power, is going to be an orange. So you can kind of glance down and see it real quickly as from the color coding if you can't read the little tiny writing in there. But it's a nice looking display screen. I've been keeping it mostly in Tour because I've been kind of just easily touring like this, but we're coming up towards our hill climb, and I'm going to show you what this thing has in terms of power when we get over there. All right, we're coming up to our hill climb where we test all the bikes on the same hill and we time it to see how they compare. Now this is a 750 watt bike, so those will typically climb the hill 22 to 25 seconds. Well, let's give it a shot here on the Stellar Falcon. I'm going to put it up into turbo mode, so I've got all power available to me here for sure, but we're going to do throttle only. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Decent pull there off the line. Up and running nice. We're up at 11 miles an hour. I got a bit of a headwind. Hopefully it doesn't hurt my time. Oh, about 12 miles an hour. Almost to 13. Gets a little steeper right here. And then we cut the time. Now, so there you go. I would guess it probably in that 24, 25 range. But plenty of power to, carry me up the hill. Throttle only, no problem, no effort from me. So good power. All right, we normally test the brakes here on the way down, but I think I'm just gonna kind of carve up these corners. A little bit of brake. There we go. Oh yeah. Smooth. Quiet too. You don't really hear these tires at all. They look kind of knobby, but they're quiet. And there's your brakes. Nice smooth stop. We'll get around these curves up here and then we'll try a speed run for you so you can see what the speed is like. All right, we're all set. Hopefully you can see one of these two screens. We'll check and see how accurate the speedometer is. But we'll do throttle only first here. Climbing nice. We're up to 26, 27, 28, 29 on the bike, and 20, well, there's 29 on the GPS. Holding at 29. It's pretty good. Wow, all right, so good 28, 29, pretty easily there, throttle only. All right, we can try pedaling and see if we can get any faster. $30. $30 if I pedal. We'll test it out here in town a little bit. We're going this way. But it's got enough speed. I mean, being able to go 29, 30, I mean, you can keep up in town traffic, no problem. I'm in sport mode, which is pretty peppy. The turbo mode's really peppy. But honestly, most of the time I've been riding in tour. You can see no problem keeping up with cars. I'm not gonna hit the light though. See how we do on the green light takeoff. I mean, I'm up to speed just as fast as cars. See if we can take a little shortcut over here to a more quieter neighborhood. So the bike feels at home on a little gravel road like this. I did take it on a bit of a trail ride the other day to see how that went. I mean, perfectly fine. It was very maneuverable on the narrower bike trail. Felt good. The seat post soaked up everything, so it was a nice, comfortable ride. I really feel like this bike could be one that has multiple uses where you can ride around town, you can commute on it, and you can also take it to the trail on the weekend. If you're going to do that though, I would say I would go with the mid-step bike. It's just going to feel a little bit more capable. I wouldn't want to be doing any jumps or anything on the step through. By design, the frame just doesn't feel as robust as the mid-step with the top bar. So if you're going to go do heavy trail riding where you're going to be pushing it a little bit, I'd go mid-step. Now I've noticed that the hub motor has a little bit of buzziness to it. It's a different motor I haven't had before, and you don't notice it so much in pedal assist like this. It's not as loud, but if you go and punch the throttle, you kind of hear it buzz a little bit. So just something to know. I mean, no big deal. It's not loud enough that it's annoying me or anything. It's just I haven't heard this motor before, and it does have it sounded like the fender was rattling or something at first, but it's just the motor. That's how it is. It's the what is it, GO900. And another thing I noticed is the battery indicator. So it has a percentage, but it doesn't go down percent by percent. It goes down in chunks. So it'll start at 100, And then the first time you see it drop, it'll drop to like 91. And then it'll drop to like 83. And then 75. It just goes down in blocks like that. So if you're wondering why, the first time I rode like, I think 12 or 13 miles. And it was still showing 100%. I'm like, what is going on? And then finally it took a chunk down and went down to 91. So just something to note there. All right, so what else? The throttle. You get full power out of the throttle at all times. It doesn't matter what pedal assist you're in. Anytime you punch a throttle, you get a blast of power, which I like, because that helps you scoot through cars or avoid danger or outrun a dog, whatever you got to do. So always have full power in the throttle. What else? The pedal assist tuning system, I'll call it, for the torque sensor has been great. So I've been riding it mostly in tour mode, and I've got it set for like low timing and low power assist. So it's just a very relaxing ride. I can just kind of cruise around the neighborhoods like this at 11, 12 miles an hour. I've got the turbo mode set to like high timing, high assist. So anytime I put it in turbo mode, it's just like super responsive and just takes off like crazy. So you can dial in each individual mode to your liking. You can set one high, one low, one medium, whatever you want. So that's great. People are gonna love that. The ability to customize pedal assist. There's very few bikes out there that allow you to get that detailed with it. So the torque sensor and the adjustments you can make, I say work really well, but there's one other feature in here that they say you can turn this into a cadence sensor. Let's find out if it actually works. We'll go into the display settings, into the drive mode, maybe drive mode? Yeah, so you can change it from torque to cadence. Let's go to cadence. Enter, and we'll exit back out of here. Okay, I'm supposed to have a cadence sensor now instead of torque. Let's find out. Yep. I mean, I'm not pushing at all. Just turning, rotating the pedals, and it's taking right off. Yep, it's now a cadence. That's surprising. I mean, for everybody that's split, do I want cadence, do I want torque? Hey, this one's got it both. And it actually does work. It is a cadence sensor now. So I mean, it doesn't matter all that much to me which one. I guess I mean, on this bike, I like the torque because you can adjust it so fine tune it. But if you didn't want that and you just want to, you know, not put any effort in and just turn the pedals to get your pedal assist, well, here you go. You switch it over to cadence. Oh, here's a nice hill. Let's downshift, punch up the pedal assist. Let's try this short, steep hill. And we make it. I'm not even off the seat yet. This is really steep. I'm pushing hard. Back tire's spinning out. Look at that though, it made it. Didn't even have to get off the seat. That's pretty good. It's got good power. Good little power in this thing. This is a fun little bike. Right, we gotta go down very cautiously here. I'm gonna slide down. Oh, gosh. I can't really overshoot it because you can see what I end up in over there, the water. I'm just skidding down. All right, we made it safely. Well, hopefully you found that ride footage helpful, and I've been able to give you some good information today about this new bike from Euphree, the Stellar Falcon. I've got them both out here in the sunlight for you so you can see these paint jobs. The blue on the step through, kind of see the metallic in there. And then also the purple, I'm gonna call it again like a deep black cherry on there. But man, they are nice looking. And I've kind of gone back and forth between which bike I like better. At first it was the mid step, and then I've kind of gravitated more towards the step through. It's just so easy getting off and on this bike. So comment below with your thoughts on the Stellar Falcon. I'm sure Euphree would love to hear what you think of the latest model. And if I missed something and you still have a question, drop that in the comments as well. I'll do my best to answer if I can. Well, thanks so much to Euphree for giving me a chance to try their latest bike. I'll link their site below so you can read more about the Stellar Falcon, and also maybe search for a dealer where you can go and see and ride and test one in person. And as always, hope you found this video helpful, informative, maybe at least entertaining. If you did, consider hitting subscribe. Talk to y'all later. Thanks.